Hey, folks, welcome to the 30 and 5 on 560WIND.com. Hope everybody has a great day. I know who's having a great day right now. Newt Gingrich up to 38%. The next guy next to him, Mitt Romney at 15. That's the poll taken. And you know what? That's bad news for Barack Obama because people are willing to overlook then 5, 6, 7 different things that Newt Gingrich has done in the past. He's got baggage. Well, you know what? Here's another piece of baggage that he doesn't have that President Obama has. Independents say they'll back President Obama at 30%, which is lower than Jimmy Carter had. And we all know what Jimmy Carter had happened to him. Okay, so it's a long, long race. Things can turn around. Newt Gingrich in charge right now. And Herman Cain, I'm just waiting for another one. That's all. Every day there's a new one, and he keeps running because he's not a politician. He's a businessman. He says, I made some mistakes, but hey, guess what? And here's the thing about Herman Cain. Did he feel sorry for the woman? Am I supposed to believe that he knew her for 13 years and never put his hand on her shoulder? That's all I want to know. 13 long years they had an affair without sex, and now he's saying she's off her rocker, releasing statements. They're reassessing his campaign. But the man keeps fighting on, and for that, you have to have some admiration. Maybe changing the rules. Maybe telling people and telling the mainstream media, we don't care what he does in his private life. Can he fix what has screwed us up? So we'll see what happens with that. Now, speaking of screwing things up, Jim Boeheim flashed in a statement last night after a game. Believe me, when the detectives sit down with him, and the Syracuse police chief has already said, we haven't done enough, or we didn't do enough. Where did we hear that before? When's Jim Boeheim basically going to apologize for calling those kids liars if indeed they did do something? This should be interesting, but I want to find out another thing that nobody's talking about. I work for Fox Sports Radio and WIND. If I sat on a tape recording of Mrs. Bernie Fine talking to the victim for 8 years and never brought it out, and then after the Joe Paterno investigation decided to come out, get a voice coach, and say, oh, this is a tape we've been hanging on to for 8 years. You know what I'm talking about, folks? ESPN. If you work at ESPN, if you're a father, a mother, if you're Mike Wilbon, if you're Tony Kornheiser, if you're Mike Greenberg, and you know your organization sat on a tape recording because you didn't have enough, but you had the woman, Mrs. Fine, on tape, and you never hired a voice coach, and you sat on that for 8 years, who knows what happened? They're as culpable as anybody else. You'll find out. ESPN's going to go under some heavy pressure because they held on to that tape for 8 years of a guy's wife telling the kid she knew he was being molested. And ESPN would fire on Fox, would fire on WGN, or anybody else who sat on that stuff. So welcome to my world, where I'm not worried about whether I get hired from you or not, and I'm not intimidated by what you do. I want to know once again, I want to hear from Mike Wilbon. How do you feel about the fact that the major sports media organization in this country sat on Mrs. Fine's tape? Literally, for 8 years. Not good. Bobby Valentine, ladies and gentlemen. The great Bobby Valentine. Oh, yeah. Bobby Valentine in the Boston clubhouse. That ought to be interesting. They might throw the chicken at him, but he will change the culture over there. It's his way or the highway, believe me, if he does get hired by the Boston Red Sox. The I's haven't been dotted. The T's haven't been crossed, but it looks like a good hire. Gene Lamont, the Sox ran over him. He was manager of the year by sitting in the corner dugout and watching Frank Thomas and Jack McDowell do their thing, along with Ventura and everybody else. He was given a great team, but yet he made it to the final two. So congratulations to Gino on that one. Also today, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be absolutely beautiful out here in the city of Chicago. Make sure you check your local listings from where you're watching us on 560WIND.com. Don't forget, Dibble and North tonight from 9 to midnight. More on the Boeheim stuff, more on the Valentine stuff, and more on the NCAA BCS stuff, amongst a million other things. All right? Take care of yourself. See everybody tomorrow. And remember, support our sponsors, All Tough Industries, the Village of Rosemont, and the Flood Brothers. Flood Brothers Disposal and Recycling Services are professional waste haulers. Now, the Flood family is big on service. It's our #1 priority, and we offer extremely competitive pricing because the Flood family is here to help you in this tough economy. Remember, at Flood Brothers, we build relationships, and the only thing we're big on is service. Call us at 773-626-5800 or floodbrothersdisposal.com.